Good evening, this is VOX TV and you are welcome to our news bulletin for this hour. I am Austin Iron. First, the headlines. Edo State Government petition Inspector General of Police over violence outbreak in Benin City. Plus, Benin City residents express divergent view over the new minimum wage. And FCT Police Command issues warning to residents over planned protests. Now the news in detail. Edo State's government has formally petitioned the Inspector General of Police over the recent outbreak of violence in Benin City metropolis, which claimed the life of a police officer and leaving others injured. Our correspondent Victoria Okwamaka takes the story from here.
The petition, signed by the State Solicitor General Prof. Faith Osadolo on behalf of the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, attributes the unrest to the actions of the former Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu and his associates. The government accused Shaibu and his associates of attempting to enforce a federal high court judgment despite a pending stay of execution and appeal process. According to the petition, addressed to the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 5, the state government alleged the Deputy Governor Shaibu engaged in what is termed self-help, which led to widespread destruction leading to the death of police officer attached to the governorship candidate of APC. The petition further states the rule of law to be upheld by bringing the perpetrators to book. As at press time, the Office of the Inspector General of Police was yet to publicly respond to the petition. Victoria Okwamedwa reporting for VOS TV News.
Moving on, Benin City residents have continued to react to the 70,000 naira new minimum wage as agreed by the organized labor union and the federal government. Our correspondent Jude Aweke reports that the respondents expressed divergent view about the development.
After several agitations, which culminated in industrial actions to press home their demand for increased minimum wage, the organized labor recently found a common ground with the federal government. The organized labor constituting the NLC and TUC recently agreed on 70,000 naira with the federal government as the new minimum wage and to be reviewed upwardly every 3 years. Mixed reactions have since started trailing these agreements by the organized labor and the federal government. Bearing their thoughts on the 70,000 naira upward review of the minimum wage, some residents in Benin City describe it as an insult to the nation's workforce in consideration of the exponential hike in cost of living resulting from inflation.
That money is so small. What will it buy? They can't even buy a bag of rice. What about the welfare of the children? Will he not live in a house? Is he going to sleep on the street? It's definitely not sufficient.
What you used to buy at the rate of 200 naira, now you cannot even get it at the rate of 500 naira. And so that was what I said earlier on, that the inflation rate is very high. So unlike before, when the minimum wage was was 30,000, it was still okay because of at least was not this high. But now that things are very high, I don't think that amount is okay.
It's not fair at all because the citizens of this country, Nigeria, we are in a great mess. Hungry everywhere. Youth are hungry, adults are hungry, our fathers are hungry, our mummies are hungry. How can you give minimum wage of 70,000? How can it feed the whole nation?
70,000 is not a money. It's a little money. You cannot buy anything in market. Things are dear. You cannot buy bag of rice. You cannot buy anything. Bag of garri now is now almost 47,000 in bag of garri. So things are so cost. So they need to change many things. So we are suffering.
They should increase it. They should increase that. Should be on at least 100 hours from 100,000 above. Because things are too costly. That 70,000 naira is too small compared to the cost of things.
Without controlling the inflation, even though you are approved $1 million naira a month, it's not sufficient. The first thing is to find out avenues how you can tackle inflation so that the income realized by every individual will become meaningful. You understand? The 70 is not sufficient.
The minimum wage is just a format to buy time. and also to confuse people. Because if you check critically, the private sectors that are currently the highest employing sector in Nigeria cannot pay 70k as a minimum wage to its workers. Rather, the public sector can pay 70k but can't even employ half the workforce of the private sector. So they can balance it, check it. Okay, fine. Imagine you are working in a bank as a security official. You are earning 50k. You have family, you have children. How can you meet up with 70k? It's not okay. It's not enough. It's not reasonable.
Others, however, expressed satisfaction with it on the ground that it will save the nation's economy from worsening.
So to me, I believe the 70,000 is okay, it's manageable. So that is not our major problem. Let's fix our economy. You understand? Let them repair our economy because our economies are collapsed.
I believe the federal government, they agreed on what they can be able to pay. Because according to some insinuation in some quarters, said some state governors, they will be able to pay the 250,000 that the labor we are agitating for. So before they come to a conclusion, at least there was a condition that they met. So they look at it. I believe the Labour president also knew that if he didn't concur with that condition, if they decided to go with that 250,000, at least paying that, it will amount to more hardship in the country. So they just agreed to collect this 70,000 for now. So I think by the time they approve that it's going to be reviewing it. It's going to be reviewed every 3 years.
With the federal government and Labour agreement of 70,000 naira minimum wage, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will this week transmits the new minimum wage to the National Assembly for approval. Jude Aweke, reporting for VOS TV News, Benin.
Commissioner of Police Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Bennett Igwe, has warned FCT residents to shun the planned nationwide protests scheduled to commence on the 1st of August.
Speaking to journalists in Abuja on Monday, the Commissioner of Police emphasized the efforts made by the police to maintain security in the FCT, cautioning that participants in the protest could undermine these efforts. Mr. Igwe reiterated his plea for residents to refrain from joining the protest, emphasizing the potential risks posed by external agitators seeking to disrupt peace and progress in FCT. The plea by the Commissioner of Police underscores ongoing tension and concern surrounding the planned nationwide protest. Victoria Okwamedwa reporting for VOS TV News.
That is the size of our news package for you on this hour. But before we go, a recap of our major stories. Edo State government has petitioned Inspector General of Police over the violence outbreak in Benin City. Benin City residents have expressed divergent view over the new minimum wage. Finally, FCT Police Command has issued warning to residents over planned nationwide protests.